Chef Sung,
Chef Lebowski.
we got a very important day.
Really?
Yeah.
What
It's
is it?
podcast day.
It is podcast day.
We got to put out another podcast.
Are we good?
What's up, everybody? It is Spilling the Spaghetti podcast time. And on tap tonight, we got a little something different. You know, we've decided let's move away from sports, the politics of the world. We're going to move into another topic. Movies. We love movies. We all do.
Yeah.
We love our Quentin Tarantino, and especially our Christopher Nolan films. We like our Marvel. We like our DC. So we're going to talk about some movies today. Movies that we hope to see in the future, and along with some certain movie series that we hope are going to end up good. We're going to talk about the goods, the bads, the awfuls, and consequential. I don't know what I'm trying to say.
Consequently?
Yes. And talk about the really shit ones. So, on tap tonight, got the Batman 2021. The Batman. I'm Batman. So, who's playing Batman this time?
Robert Pattinson.
Robert Pattinson. So, what? We've only got a trailer and a few pictures?
Yep.
What? So, in the pictures, we get a look at the suit.
Yeah, and also we get to look at the new Batmobile.
Which is like what it's supposed to look, instead of like the tumbler from the Christian Bale Batmans, it's supposed to be more of a
Muscle car look.
Yeah, which earlier we were talking about, like how the Christopher Nolan Batmans are a little more realistic. I feel like now we're starting to get a little more realistic, because like the tumbler is cool and all, but like how often, like when you think about a real life vigilante or a superhero, are they going to be driving a tank around?
No, no.
Yeah.
Fuck no. I think for this movie, I mean, also we have to look at it. It is early in Batman's career in this movie.
Yeah, like what? It's supposed to be like right as he gets back from the League of Shadows.
Yeah.
I don't think they're gonna show. I mean, based off the trailer, are they? I don't think they're gonna show him losing his parents, because I mean, what, we've seen that a million times.
Yeah, it's like Spider-Man and losing Uncle Ben.
Yeah, like I think it's kind of assumed, like if anything, they show a flashback where they're gonna talk
probably
about it. They're probably not gonna show the League of Shadows, because like
we've seen that in Batman Begins.
Yeah, we've seen that in Batman Begin. And also the comics. We've never seen that in like the Michael Keaton, the Val Kilmer, or who was the other one with Arnold Schwarzenegger?
George Clooney, wasn't it?
Yeah. The George Clooney ones. We never saw the League of Shadows. We always talked, and there was all these different times talking about who killed his parents, this and that. Like one year it was Two-Face, one year it was Joker, one year it was just a random guy. In the recent movies,
it's just a random guy.
Oh no! In the Joker movie, it's someone who's like a Joker supporter.
Yeah, who gets inspired and just like
decides, yeah, fuck it, I'm gonna shoot the guy.
Yeah.
So, but with this movie, it's a young Batman.
Yeah.
Like, when I think of Bruce Wayne, I definitely get that Christian Bale vibe or the Robert Pattinson. I think what's going to determine this movie the most, because I love Robert Pattinson, even though I mostly know him for Twilight and all the other movies I've seen him in, Tenet, The Devil All the Time. Can't remember. There's another movie I'm thinking of. He's a good actor.
Yeah.
Right?
He has the range.
Like it's undeniable that he's a good actor. But I want to know, how will his Batman be?
And I think that's a question we have to ask ourselves, is how good of a Batman he's going to be, and how good of a Bruce Wayne is he going to be.
I think he'll have the Bruce... He has the look of Bruce Wayne.
A young Bruce Wayne.
A very young Bruce Wayne who's like... It's like literally his third day.
Yeah.
He still doesn't know what's going on. Like he's still perfecting things. All he knows is that he wants to fight crime. But I think this Batman is focused... So like the Ben Affleck, Val Kilmer, Michael Keaton, and George Clooney Batmans are more of the superhero side of Batman.
Yeah.
And then we have like the Christian Bale one, which is the more vigilante.
Yeah.
Because he's very much
an outcast, kind of.
Yeah, the outcast. The cops still don't like him.
Yeah. Fuck that guy.
Or they're kind of like on the edge of him. I think this one, is going to focus on the detective
Yep.
side.
The director actually came out and said he wanted a more, because Batman is known for the greatest detective
Right.
in the comic books, and he wanted to show that aspect in here because you don't really, like you said, you really don't see that in the movies.
Yeah, like I think the Dark Knight slowly showed it in the terms of when Fox he showed like that crap. I don't.
Is it the sonar technology at the end?
Sonar, like that kind of showed it off, and then like maybe at the end of the Batman Begins when they were showing like the Joker card and everything. I can't remember a Batman movie where they were.
Well, I guess you can say there's bits and pieces throughout the Dark Knight because I don't know if you remember, but there's a part where there's a crime scene where the guy's killed himself. Well, not killed himself. He's been killed.
Yeah.
And Joker names the mayor as the next target.
Oh, okay.
And he drills out the little piece of wall, and then he takes it back to his compound and analyzes the bullet.
Right.
So you get bits and pieces of the detective in there.
But you never get the real, because like what the first Batman movies or comics are like, I think it's called Detective Series.
Yep.
And I don't think we've ever been shown that now, like we all know the fighting part, the gadgets and everything, but we don't know the mindset of Batman himself. And I think that's what separates him outside of other superheroes, because if we really break Batman down, he's very much like Iron Man, a rich dude with money.
And he said that in the Justice League movie. Mm-hmm. The Flash asked him, he was like, what makes you a superhero, something like that? What's your powers? And he was like, I'm rich.
Yeah. And
which kind of pisses me off, by the way.
Yeah, like I thought to myself, like, I mean, I get it, it's comedic effect, and it was funny, it was a good line, but that's not all that Batman is.
Batman's a fucking genius.
There's a reason why he, like, even though he can't fly, he's not indestructible. And sure, he has all this money, but it's more about the mindset of Batman. Why he's able to, like, there's a reason why he has a plan to defeat all of the Justice League.
Contingency plan.
Yeah. And I think this movie is going to kind of dive into the detective side, because like throughout the movie, the trailer, it's just kind of like a lot. They don't tell who's the villain. But
they do show the villains though. They show the Riddler.
It's the Riddler?
The Riddler, and then you also have I think it's Colin Farrell as the Penguin in there.
Is the Penguin?
Yeah. So that's big. There's a big dude. I don't know if they showed him in the trailer. I think they showed him in like one of the pictures.
Okay.
But Colin Farrell's the new Riddler. Oh, not Riddler. No. Correction. He's the new Joker. Fuck. I am retarded tonight. He's the new Penguin.
He's the new Penguin.
He put on a lot of weight, and then you have the Riddler in there. He's the dude with like the goggles on.
I need to watch the trailer again, because it's been such a long time since I've seen it. Because all I can remember is the new look of the Batman, the symbol, and the car. I don't remember the actual trailer, because I mean I saw a portion of it, like where they're saying who, like a thug is saying like, who the hell are you?
Like, I'm justice, something like that.
Yeah, he's saying like that. And again, like going back to it, I think this is going to be less about the action.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure there's going to be those fight scenes.
Oh yeah.
But I think it's going to be more of him solving the crime.
Yeah. Especially if you have the Riddler in there, who's about Riddlers or riddles.
Riddles, yeah.
So you're gonna have to use that aspect of detective.
And because that was, even though the Val Kilmer and the George Clooney films were known to be more of a wacky Batman in terms of like colors and how the villains act, I think the good thing about the Val Kilmer one was he still had to figure out who the Riddler was, because the Riddler kept sending him clues and all that, which is weird, because like if you're a villain,
I don't want to see you nothing. I'm not gonna fucking help you solve the crime.
Like if I'm a villain, I'm not gonna show off who, or I'm not show off, but I'm not gonna give you hints on who I am.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna give you any hints.
Yeah, it's lucky, dude. Save the world.
Like, fuck you. I'm gonna blow up the world. Yeah, I'm gonna kill someone. Like that. Like, but anyway, like this is confirmed that these are the villains.
Yeah, these are two of the main villains who's going to appear in the movie.
Okay, that's good, because I'm not going to say I don't like Joaquin Phoenix or I don't like the Joker. However,
I don't want to see Joker Batman again.
I'm getting kind of tired of seeing, even though Joker is the arch nemesis, it's like Spider-Man and
Green Goblin,
or I can't. I'm trying to think of any other arch nemesis. Like Thor and Loki. Well, this Loki is a little more
different.
He's a little more sidekickish.
Yeah.
But the point is, I'm done with Joker.
Yeah.
I've seen a million different versions of him, and the Jared Leto Joker
That's fucking horrible.
killed it.
Oh, you liked it?
No.
Oh,
When I mean killed it is, I mean it killed the character. Now, the Joaquin Phoenix Joker, I think, was good. But the fact is, I'm done seeing Joker and Batman.
I agree.
I want to see, because Batman has a million different villains, and a lot of them aren't just his villains; they're other people's villains.
Yeah.
So I'm done seeing Joker. I want to see something new, because in the show, and not the show, in the Christian Bale, Christopher Nolan movies, it's Scarecrow, Ra's al Ghul.
Yep. The Joker. And Bane.
And Bane. Like, that's 4 guys.
And which Christopher Nolan, he did, I guess you could say, the 4 most popular Batman villain.
Yeah.
Because I mean, he also did Two-Face. Don't forget about Two-Face. I mean, he was kind of at the end.
He was very minor, but he definitely represented the what's the word I'm looking for? Like, it's a different Two-Face than who's the guy in the Val Kilmer Batman? It was the guy who played him. It was the same Tommy Lee Jones.
Yeah, he was a more wacky comedic.
Little more, yeah. He had his sane side.
Yeah,
we never really saw that too much. Like, I remember there was a scene where he's kind of like he's twisting his face and he's showing the different sides and showing that there's obviously a sane side of him.
Mm-hmm.
But they more focused on the insane part, like the crazy. And that Two-Face, I thought he was fine. I think it was a good addition.
Mm-hmm.
But it was like, I don't want to call it out of place.
Mm-hmm.
But it was like, you weren't in the movie enough.
I wouldn't say the character Two-Face was in the movie. Harvey Dent was in.
The Harvey Dent.
I think
he hasn't gotten that split personality.
Yeah, I feel like he would have more addition for The Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that would. Yeah, because like they never talk about what happens to Joker.
Yeah, you just see him like swing off a building, and you just like, okay.
It's like, yeah, I mean, because obviously we know the actor died.
Yeah, but I read a rumor. I don't know if it's true or not.
Okay.
I read somewhere they're saying that, if Heath Ledger, God forbid, but God rest his soul, if he would have lived or whatever, he would have been because in Dark Knight Rises, Scarecrow's the judge in the court. They said Joker, if if the actor was still alive, Heath Ledger, he would have been the judge in the court. So I guess that's also the plan for him. Like So I guess that means he would have survived, I guess.
I bet the death of Heath Ledger really, I'm not going to say screwed up, but they were probably really thinking ahead.
Yeah.
And with his untimely death, it really, again, I'm not going to say ruined, but it really, it changed
the plans,
especially with like I see it a lot like the 8th movie of the Star Wars of the sequel trilogy when they killed Snoke. That kind of like set up the 9th movie to be bad because it got ruined the plot. So in the sense that Joker died, the guy who plays Joker, Heath Ledger, because he died, they were kind of like, what do we do now?
Yeah.
Because now we're in a situation where, I mean, still, The Dark Knight Rises was still a great movie.
Yeah.
It still ended up being good. And good on them for fixing it. But, there was obviously more. But anyway, back to Batman 2021. It's definitely going to be more detective Batman.
Yeah.
Definitely realistic.
Yeah.
Who's directing it? Do you know?
Oh, fuck. I forgot.
You want to look that up real quick?
Yeah.
But, like, I definitely see the more detective. We're going to see, when I say gadgets, we're going to see less offensive gadgets, but more detective gadgets. He's going to be looking for fingerprints, burn marks.
Matt Reeves.
What has he directed besides obviously this? That name sounds so familiar to me.
Let's see here. Oh, he did a couple of the Planet of the Apes.
All of them, or just
he did 2 of them?
Which ones?
Dawn of the Planet of the Apes and War.
Okay, so he's done the first
and the last one
and the third one. Okay, because I never
I
saw.
love that movie. I saw it in theaters. Oh my god,
I've-
Chef Lebowski, you got to see it. Have you seen it?
I've seen the first one. I've seen part of the second one. I was always meaning to see the third one. You know they made a game for it.
Is it trash?
I don't know. I think it was kind of like unknown because the way it was working, like the Walking Dead games that came out,
Yeah.
the one where with Telltale,
I think.
like you had there was a lot of like decision making.
Yeah.
That I think it was a lot like that. I don't remember if it ended up being bad or not. I think it was more of a under the radar. But so far out of the trailer, the movie looks good.
I gotta say though, I don't like the suit.
You don't like the suit?
Fucking hate it.
Let's see what the suit looks like. I really forgot what the new suit looks like.
So I just want to put this out here. I'm excited for the movie, but it looks like Robert Pattinson is cosplaying Batman instead of actually looking like a Batman.
Okay.
That's how I feel about the suit.
So you think it looks more of like
A cosplay.
okay. And why do you say that?
It just looks weird. It doesn't look like a Batman suit.
Like someone just kind of threw it together.
Yeah, and here's the thing: if you're listening, if people are listening to this, I get that this is he's starting off. Like this is his first, crack at being the Batman. Like this is fresh. Like you said, probably fresh from the League of Shadows or whatnot. So I get that he's starting off, but I feel like that suit just doesn't do it for me. Like when we see Batman Begins, that's a nice looking suit.
Yeah.
Even though it's his first suit, it still looks nice.
So for some reason, my computer doesn't want to work.
Oh my god.
I don't understand.
Chef Lebowski, get better technology.
I mean, I got the PC running, not the Mac. Here, let's do it on the phone. But I remember looking at the suit, and it definitely looked more of like this is definitely his first suit. Because Batman has a million different suits.
Yeah.
And they have so many. Oh yeah, hold on. Yeah, I'm seeing. You know what the suit looks like?
What's that?
Kind of like in the Batman Arkham games, the third one, the Arkham Knight.
Yeah.
It kind of looks like that version.
But it's weird because Arkham Knight looks better than that one though.
Yeah.
I see what you mean though. Is it because of the leather?
It
has the pants look type of to it.
Yeah, it definitely looks. This definitely gives off some first suit vibes.
Yeah.
Because Christian Bale in those movies, he had a suit in the first one.
Yeah, it was like the solid one.
Yeah, and then the second one looked a little more tactical.
Yeah.
And that carried over into The Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah.
Because there really wasn't much to alternate.
Yeah.
It looked.
I think it was the same suit, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think it really changed much.
Yeah, they didn't really add.
I don't think they changed it.
Yeah, and because it was a fine suit.
Yeah,
there was no reason to change it.
And then you get Zack Snyder's Batman, Ben Affleck.
Which, oh my god, I feel like that was more of a that particular suit was more of a comic book.
Yeah, because it had the grays and
more of a big symbol.
Yeah,
small like a bat ear.
Yeah,
like the ear, like the pointed parts.
The cowl,
you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Like it was a lot smaller.
Yeah.
It was like a
pretty much.
It looked like a Tic Tac. Yeah.
But here's the thing, I love those suits.
Right.
And then they changed it in Justice League.
Right.
So it went back to being a darker one.
Mm.
But I love those suits. I love Batman Begins up until Justice League. I love those suits. And so when I see this one, I'm just kind of I don't really like this one. And like I said, I understand that it's his first crack at being Batman. But I feel like you could have done something way better than that.
Maybe.
He's a billionaire. He looks like he just got out from Halloween City or something.
I like to think that throughout he's gonna fight Penguin and Riddler, right?
Yeah.
And the first fight is gonna go bad for him. And he's gonna go back to the cave and he's gonna realize, you know what, I need something different. And he's gonna design a whole new suit. And he's gonna come out with some kind of
what if it's the opposite? What if he starts off with a different suit from this one we're seeing?
Okay.
And then he realizes that suit is ass. So he goes to this suit.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a new suit. I'm gonna cry if that's the thing. If that's the case, I'm gonna cry.
I mean, what? The movie comes out in 2021.
Yeah.
It was delayed because Robert Pattinson he had COVID, and
that's the official. That's what they're saying. But apparently, behind the scenes, he didn't want to do the movie no more.
Really?
He got tired of doing it. He just didn't want to film.
Was it because he was doing Tenet at the same time?
Well, he left filming Tenet to go audition for this
Oh
movie.
yeah. Okay.
And they say something happened between him and the director. Like they got into it, and the director sent him home,
Oh.
and he just didn't want to film it.
Okay. Well, now that creates some complications.
But that's not the official. But that's what they're saying behind the scenes.
Okay, that's just a rumor. We don't know. But I mean, we still got to sometime in 2021. I don't think there's an official date, more of a quarter or even a month. It's just a year.
Yeah.
So all these questions would probably be answered by that time.
So
But-
Chef Lebowski, I have a question.
Yeah.
Didn't mean to cut you off there.
Okay.
So we talk about superheroes, and that's pretty much kind of the theme here tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Who is your favorite superhero?
Favorite superhero? Can we include villains, anti-heroes, that kind of thing? Or are we just going strictly hero?
All right, you know what? I guess we could do that. What's your favorite comic book hero? Comic book person?
Comic book person. If I have to choose one, it's going to be Deathstroke.
Deathstroke.
I don't like reading his story and all the media that I've seen of him. I slowly, like, on one hand, he's a villain.
Okay, yeah.
Because, like, in the Batman universe, he's trying to kill Batman.
Yeah.
In the TV universe, he's trying to kill
Robin, isn't it?
No, Green Arrow.
Oh. Well, I know he's also kind of involved with Teen Titans a little bit.
Yeah. That Deathstroke is a little weird to me. I mean, because like when I try to think, like, I don't think of that one. I mean, he was a good character. Don't get me wrong, but I'm very much like, you know what, you're off to the side. And for some reason, he's Robin's father, which is like.
Oh, see, I haven't seen the show. I'm just talking about like in general from like the comic books and whatnot.
Oh yeah, he turns out to be Robin's father.
What the fuck? What?
I don't
like that.
I don't get it. Like, it doesn't. I feel like that's their own thing that they're trying to make. But like he's that perfect mix of a villain,
mm-hmm.
but he kind of shows hero side every now and then. But like he's relatively realistic.
Okay.
It's not like he has a crazy power. Like, his powers are literally that he's just stupid athletic.
Yeah.
Strong. I don't want to call it smart, but he just has, his brain just works really fast in terms of decision making. I really, and honestly, he just looks cool. Like, he's a cool ass modern ninja. Plus, like, that mix of orange and black really just, it's a good mix. I look at his mask and I'm like, that's a dude who's gonna kill me.
Yeah.
Like, especially in what Batman game was it?
Arkham Origins, I think.
Arkham Origins.
I didn't play that one, by the way.
It's good. It's a prequel.
Well, because I'm used to Rocksteady.
Yeah.
And so when WB was like, hey, we're making a Batman game, I'm like, no, yeah.
No.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah. But, like, if I'm being 100% honest, that is my favorite looking Deathstroke because he has that good mix of tactical but ninja kind of mix. And that's really, at the end of the day, that's really what he is. He's a ninja who has a cool fucking sword, but also has proficiency in guns, explosives. He's like if Deathstroke knew how to use a sword, you know. So imagine Will Smith in the Suicide Squad movie.
You mean Deadshot?
Oh shit, yeah, Deadshot.
He's like Deathstroke and doesn't use a sword. I was like, he kind of uses a sword sometimes.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. So, Chef's who favorite superhero, villain, anti-hero, comic book character? Who is it?
It's tough. It's really tough. I have a couple.
Number one, like if you needed a hero right here, right now.
Right here, right now. Ooh,
right here,
fuck.
right now.
Does that have to be a hero?
Hero, villain, anti-villain. He's gonna get some shit done.
Gonna...
Or she.
Oh yeah, it does.
Or they.
You know, whatever they may be.
Yeah.
Dr. Manhattan.
Dr. Manhattan.
Do you know who that is?
Yes, from Watchmen.
Yes.
Because I remember I watched the movie kind of recently, the 3-hour version.
They got so many versions of that one, but that's neither here or there.
Yeah.
I think it's really changed. I mean, when I first watched that movie, I was like, he's pretty cool. And the more I watch it, and I'm just keep watching it, I love that guy.
Yeah.
Chef Lebowski, I think if I wanted to be a superhero, I want to be him.
You're just gonna be
a blue god.
Oh, you're a blue god, but
who's naked.
Naked. But if you really break it down, you're just a naked guy who is literally a ball of, or just a body of uranium.
Yeah, because he died in the reactor thing.
Yeah.
But I think And the reason why I like him is
Yeah.
because he is a living contradiction of what he is.
Okay.
Because he starts off as a hero.
Okay.
Not a hero, but a human. I mean, he starts off falling in love. He meets his love of his life.
Right.
Human things.
Okay.
And it just happens that he gets, locked into the reactor, whatever it is. He dies, comes back to life, and he realizes that he doesn't like humans anymore. He thinks
he's above everyone else.
he thinks he's above everyone because he thinks humans are too caught up in themselves.
Okay.
And if you take a step back and look at the world, I think that's a very true statement. I mean, humans are really
self-centered.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
And in that movie, he tells Jupiter or Scarlet, whatever she, fucking forgot her name. This is Jupiter, some shit.
Yeah.
He tells her
3-hour movie.
Yeah.
I'm a Rorschach and that guy. That's it.
But he tells her like, hey, at the end, I'm going the fucking way. And I'm gonna create my own life.
Yeah.
He's like, fuck it. You guys are fucking ass.
Right.
But I think he has a cool character arc, and I think he has really cool powers. I mean, he can make people just die with a swipe of his
just
hand.
flick his fingers and you just disappear.
Yeah.
I remember there was a scene in that movie. I can't really remember what the guy's name in that movie was, or even what his actor name was. I know he was in The Walking Dead. He recently played.
Oh, the comedian?
Yes, the comedian.
Yeah.
So he's on a Huey in the Vietnam War. And I remember I was like, okay, this is kind of realistic. I could see, a quote unquote superhero in the Vietnam War. And he's right on the Huey helicopter. And then they're fighting the Viet Cong. All of a sudden, it pans out and there's Dr. Manhattan.
Just big as shit.
It's just this big blue guy who just looked really, really out of place. And I remember thinking like,
yeah.
This really is an alternate universe, isn't it? Because all I can think of is like these Viet Cong. They're just hanging out in the jungle, smoking a cigarette, whatever they're doing.
And you see this blue guy.
And I'm like, fuck it, I'm dead.
And you see it. And if you notice, if you finish watching that scene,
Yeah.
I mean, he kills some of them, but most of them surrender to him. That's
That
their
is true.
god.
Yeah. He's literally a living god.
Exactly.
Very much like a Superman.
Yeah.
Or I don't even think Dr. Manhattan has a weakness, does he?
He really doesn't.
But then he fell in love with someone, so maybe that's his weakness. But I can't think of a single.
Well, he kind of has one. Tachyons. It's blocked because he doesn't perceive time as we do.
Right.
And so if you have tachyons, you can block his vision into time. So
okay, so
but you need like $1 trillion to do that. So unless you're like,
no one has $1 trillion on them. Like,
so he really doesn't have a weakness.
Right. So speaking of superheroes,
Marvel.
we got 2 different universes. One is particularly failing, or yeah, you know what? They're failing every now and then. They put out a banger, and then we have another one that's really. They're just a part of pop culture now. Like it's even if you're not a fan of them, you still go see their movies because it's a good movie.
Yeah,
and that's the DC universe and the Marvel universe. And if we're being 100% honest, it's the Marvel universe that's winning.
Yeah, without question.
Yeah, like DC, they've been what? So the first movie they put out that started the DC universe,
Man of Steel.
Yeah, the Man of Steel movie, which was the Superman movie. It was fine.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. It was a solid movie.
Yeah, it was definitely a modern Superman movie. And right after they just jumped right into
Fuck it, we need Batman.
Batman versus Superman.
And don't forget, we need Wonder Woman in there too.
Oh yeah, she was in there just a tad bit. And then she got her own movie, which I liked that movie.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. It was solid.
I absolutely I love that movie. Not from the stance of like it's superhero, but I liked it from the historical side because you're taking history, World War I specifically, and you're inserting Wonder Woman into the scene, and they make it seem realistic.
Yeah, she fits in the timeline that she in.
Like obviously she stands out.
Yeah.
Right? Like cuz like you see a girl wearing a short skirt and like
fucking metal stilettos.
Yeah, like
with a
whip and sword and shield, like yeah, that stands out. But it just there was a scene where she's walking across no man's land. That whole scene was just like it's realistic.
Yeah.
And then like what you had the Aquaman movie, which was okay.
Yeah.
Wasn't it was they were trying to make their own Black Panther.
I guess you say that, yeah,
Yeah.
sort of.
And
It's
then-
kind of related.
And then they had the Justice League movie, which we saw. Which
Well, that was before.
oh yeah, that was before Aquaman. But
Yeah.
like, I remember when we got done watching that first day. I'm like, you know what? That was an alright movie.
I fucking hated it.
Second day, I'm like, I hate this.
I didn't like it when I first saw it.
And it's a lot like Suicide Squad, which when they first showed the trailer for Suicide Squad, I was like, yes, this is what the hero industry needs. They need a movie about villains. Because, I mean, I get it. Like, no one wants... You want to see the heroes. And it's a little taboo to show a movie about villains, right?
Hmm.
But thankfully, Suicide Squad fits in this week. Now, thankfully, they've been able to figure it out with the Joker movie, even though that's not technically a part of DC cinematic universe.
It stands alone as its own movie right now.
It's its own standalone, and that movie worked. I remember the first day after. I remember with my ex-girlfriend, I saw Suicide Squad.
Hmm.
First day after the movie, I was like, you know what? That was a good movie. I enjoyed it. Will Smith and Margot Robbie, they did perfect. Supporting cast was great. Story was good. Second day, I'm like, you know what? It was okay.
Yeah.
I got a couple complaints here and there. Third day, woke up. First thing I thought about was Suicide Squad. I was like, that was dog shit. I was like, I kept thinking back. I was like, what the fuck did I watch?
Well, I don't know if you knew this or not, but fun fact,
Mhm.
the people that put together the trailer also put together the movie.
What?
Yes. So that's one reason why kind of,
I think they also had an issue of not enough time and not enough money.
Yep.
Because every single Marvel movie that's came out, with the exception of a couple, I think off the top of my head, I can think of a couple that have been like either okay or not so great. Like Thor: The Dark World.
Yeah. Iron Man 2.
And Iron Man 3.
Yeah, sort of.
Like, I can't really remember that one too much.
That's about it for Marvel.
Yeah, I really can't.
I guess you say Thor is the very first Thor too.
Yeah, I don't really remember that one.
So I think the only best one out of that trilogy is Thor Ragnarok. That is a great movie.
Yeah, that was a great. I'm not a big Marvel person, but that was a really good movie. But like, I think DC, which is owned by Warner Bros., I think they run into an issue of not enough time and not enough money.
And that's what they're running into. So the studio, big heads.
Yeah.
They basically looked at Marvel as like, hey, they got Avengers over there. They're fucking popping.
We need to
get on that.
Yeah.
And that's what happened. You basically went from trying to set it up to, fuck it, let's go save the world again, with all the big three or
Right.
the big four or whatever. And that's what happened. And so now they're realizing, okay, that wasn't a good idea. So let's do a couple standalone movies,
Right.
introduce you to the characters, and then we can maybe get a Justice League going again.
Right. And DC rushed it.
And they did. They fucked it up. They blew the ball. Like, you had a solid movie with Man of Steel.
Yeah.
What I would have done if I maybe, if he was going to do Batman, do a standalone Batman movie.
I don't know. In the Batman versus Superman movie, they did enough to set up Batman.
Yeah, because in that universe, when that movie, he's already been Batman for a while.
Yeah.
He's the old rugged Batman.
This is the old, yeah. So what they probably should have done is done a Wonder Woman movie.
Yeah.
Maybe a standalone
Aquaman movie.
An Aquaman movie, and then done Justice League.
Yeah.
And then try to maybe figure out probably after Man of Steel, then do the Batman versus Superman movie.
Yeah.
So then you could
here's the thing. I would have done, you know what, I agree. I think Man of Steel, Batman vs Superman, but I wouldn't put Wonder Woman in that movie though. I would have kept her out. I would have just kept it Batman versus Superman. And still keep the cameos of the Flash and Cyborg, because at least you can see those characters for the first time.
That's what it's coming, because you had the Flash show already.
Yeah,
even though it's not the same actor,
and it's not even in the same universe.
But you know that the Flash is a person who has his own story going on.
Like, therefore, you at least know what you're getting.
Yeah,
Cyborg, like, he doesn't have his own show
besides Teen Titans.
Yeah, but still, you still know who you're getting.
Yeah.
And I think I would have done that.
Okay.
Wonder Woman gets her own standalone movie, and then after that, maybe do a Justice League movie.
Yeah, like it seems that there was all these great ideas. I really liked the. It was in Batman vs Superman.
Mm-hmm.
They alluded to the fact that oh crap, I don't remember his name. The Dark Side.
Oh, Dark Side.
They alluded to Dark Side because they had that Batman.
Oh, Nightmare Dream.
Yeah, his nightmare dream where he's like in a apocalyptic universe where Superman takes over the Earth.
Well, Dark Side did.
Yeah, but like Superman's like
he's the main soldier for Dark Side.
Yeah, and so they alluded to that fact, and I thought to myself, like, that's a good idea.
Yeah,
because that was Batman's fear, and I think that's always in every single animated movie that I've seen, in every comic that I've read, that's always been his fear. Because
who the fuck can stop that? I mean, Superman. Who can stop him?
Besides a green rock, like nothing.
Yeah,
can stop the man. So
except Siri.
Yeah, Siri fucking around over here. So I thought that was a good scene, but in the Flash coming back from the future to
tell him, hey,
like they had all these good ideas, and same thing with the Justice League movie, all these good ideas, but it all fell short.
Now I think when we talk about Justice League, we have to discuss the changes that happen.
Right.
So we have to discuss that. Originally Zack Snyder was directing it.
Mm-hmm.
He was filming, and then he had a tragic, accident in his family. So he stepped away. Josh Whedon, who done the two Avengers, Avengers 1, then Age of Ultron, stepped in and pretty much, did his own.
And he's filmed some good movies.
Yeah, so he's done Avengers.
He has a resume.
Yeah. He also did Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the TV show.
Really?
Yeah, that was him.
What was that, like on MTV?
No, I think it was like on... CW, MTV, something like that.
Know.
I don't care. I didn't watch it.
Yeah.
But anyways, so he has a resume with superheroes.
Yeah, he understands what he's doing.
And so he went in and did his version. Now, whether you like that version or not, that's up to you. I don't like it because it's definitely jumbled.
Yeah.
But so that you get pretty much two movies in one.
Right.
And so now you don't know whether or not you have a true Justice League vision.
Okay.
So I do think we have to acknowledge that part of it. But, of course, Zack Snyder's finally getting the Snyder Cut released. It's going to be a mini-series on, I think, HBO Max.
And they've already released the movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
The movie's already, of course the movie's been out. It's already on HBO Max.
Which probably won't still help the movie. If anything, you just get like a couple extra scenes.
Yeah.
That, sure, it's cool to see.
Darkseid's going to be in this one too, by the way. He's going to be in the series.
He is?
Yeah.
They're going to actually have a...
Yeah, look him up. They already showed his design and everything. It's a young Darkseid, though.
Oh, okay.
It's a young one.
Okay, well, that's okay. I to my knowledge, I don't know about anything about Darkseid before. I know of him now, like what he's all about now. I've never known anything about him, his past. Like with the, I guess we're kind of move over to the Marvel side of things. But like we know in Marvel, we know about the villain's past.
Yeah.
Like with Thanos,
you knew he came from Titan.
We know his motives.
Yeah.
We know what he wants. Like in his mind, he's not a villain. He is a savior.
Yep.
But to everyone else, he's a villain.
He's a fucking genocide killer.
He's gonna kill half the people. Like he's just gonna.
And look, he called that fucking mercy. He was like, "Nah, bro, that's mercy, bro."
That's not.
So what? My thing is like, what is the definition of non-mercy to this guy? Killing the whole universe, like.
Yeah, right. So, I guess we got to talk about what did Marvel get right and
development.
But I'm gonna be the first person to say this.
This is a hot take.
It's a very hot take. Ooh. Well, yeah, we'll just call it a hot take. I'm not a huge... Okay, I like Disney from the fact that they know how to make a movie.
Yeah.
They, like, some of my favorite childhood movies are Disney movies. Some of my favorite memories are from Disney movies or going to actually Disney World or Land, whichever one is in Florida. And what I don't like is Disney as a business. I don't like that. But, we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about the movie aspect. Where the Marvel universe beats the DC cinematic universe is when those movies are made, they get a blank check all the time in the world. Well, okay, I won't call all the time in the world, but their time frame is a little far. Because I remember reading about Suicide Squad. They ran into an issue of They had a set budget and a set time. Now, the budget, you can't help that.
Yeah.
Money's money. You can only spend. But time, like when it comes to artistic things like that, it takes a second to it takes a second to make a movie.
Yeah.
It takes us time to make a podcast. I mean, even though this podcast isn't amazing, it takes a second to make this. So I guess that's really because Warner Bros. Sure, they're successful, but they're not Disney successful. And I feel like all media businesses, entertainment businesses, not media businesses, but entertainment business, they want to be Disney. Where if they want to shell out some money, like they can do it and be like, you know what, we don't care how much we give you.
Yeah.
Like, here's your money.
And I think Disney is at the point now where they don't care about the budget because they know it's going to do good.
Yeah.
They know it's going to do gangbusters. Yeah. Like with Guardians of the Galaxy, Kevin Feige kind of feared, like, who the fuck are the characters? Nobody know who the fuck Star-Lord those characters were.
I have never heard of Guardians of the Galaxy until that moment.
I would agree.
But I feel like after seeing that movie, the first movie, I'm like, I know these characters.
And you feel like those characters aren't, I don't want to say they're important to you, but you know of them. Like, you feel like they're a part of the universe.
I know who the fuck Rocket and Groot are.
Yeah, a fucking raccoon and a tree.
Yeah, and if someone can convince me that a raccoon and a tree are important to me, or that I like them, you did a good job.
Exactly.
And
expect, like, Baby Groot.
Yeah. Like, that thing became a phenomenon right next to Baby Yoda. And I guess at the end of the day, that separates the two universes is money and time. Whereas one person is more, the DC universe is more focused on, we need to compete.
Yeah.
Because, they were a little early to the party. They were more focused, even though the Christian Bale Batman movies aren't so focused on a universe of some sort, it was still a good movie.
Yeah.
And I feel like they came in too late, or we're not even gonna use too late. They weren't patient because the first Iron Man movie came. That was the first part of the universe.
Technically speaking, the Incredible Hulk actually is.
Really?
Yeah. So he fights Abomination.
Yeah.
That is technically considered the start of the MCU.
Okay, but they don't use the same actor, do they?
No, they don't, because they went from fuck, I forgot his name. They went from Edward Norton to because he was gonna be in the MCU, but he wanted too much money, so they was like, "Fuck you, we're getting Mark Ruffalo."
Yeah, okay. Well, I like the new guy anyway. He's pretty good. But let's just go off of Iron Man because I think
that's the most popular one.
That's the most popular start. What it took. So the first Iron Man movie came out
2008.
2008. The first Avengers movie came out
2012.
That's 4 years in between.
Yeah.
So they did Iron Man, Captain America.
Yeah. Thor.
Was it Thor? Yeah.
Because remember they teased Thor's hammer after end of Iron Man.
Did they?
Yeah. Remember they showed like we found it, and you see like this fucking hammer like in the ground.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. So you had. I'm not going to call them the big three.
And I think they did Iron Man 2 because Black Widow. That's when she got introduction.
Oh, yeah. Because you had to show Jamie Foxx's character.
Jamie Foxx?
Or not Jamie Foxx.
Samuel Jackson?
Samuel Jackson. I, for some reason, I'm thinking about Quentin Tarantino right now. You got Samuel Jackson's character. You got...
Because I think Iron Man 2 established there's a S.H.I.E.L.D.
There is a S.H.I.E.L.D. agency.
Yeah.
They didn't call it Avengers, but S.H.I.E.L.D.
Well, they announced the Avengers Initiative at the very end.
Okay, yeah. So talking about the initiative. And that kind of set up the idea for Avengers. So they took their time.
Exactly.
They knew that if we establish these characters before... Because, like, imagine if the Avengers movie came out first.
Oh, that's fucking horrible.
Because, like, I don't want to call it horrible, but you would feel like...
It doesn't feel as,
Like, how did these guys get together? Because then now you got to wait for after the fact.
Yeah.
And what was good is leading up to Infinity War, even though you had all the Avengers movies before that, and you had all the individual movies, and you were catching glimpses of Thanos. You knew he was coming.
Yeah.
You had references. You had an idea. If you were a Marvel comic fanatic, you knew it was coming. and that's what I feel what made Infinity War Parts 1 and 2 so good is because they set it up. They knew that people are waiting for this. They are the anticipation
to get the climax.
Right. And so like it was after Black Panther is when the first Avengers Infinity War movie came out, right? Correct?
Yes. Because that came out that February, and then Infinity War came out that April, I think it was. Yeah, April.
Yeah. So you knew after that, like he's coming.
Yeah, he's fucking here.
Like we know this next movie, and it was that build up. Whereas Justice League, we only got
2 movies.
I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. You can make a backstory. Well, we know the backstory to Batman. Like that doesn't have to be done again. We know it. We know the backstory to Superman because they made a movie and it was a good movie.
I mean, a couple of them. It's the same. Krypton blows up, goes to a farm, gets raised by Martha.
Yeah, we know that, and we know if they could establish the Aquaman movie before, because I like Jason Momoa. I really like him. I think he's a good actor. Unfortunately, the writing he's had to deal with isn't that great.
And that's usually what happens with DC. They get good actors.
Yeah.
Just that the writing you get is kind of,
They know what they're doing, or the actor knows, but the writing isn't great. But you know what? They could have done Aquaman before. And, the Flash TV show was still going on.
Which I've never seen a single episode of.
It's okay.
Mediocre.
Like, if you compare it to the Arrow TV show... Actually, no, it's exactly like the Arrow TV show. You're just getting the Flash. But so... And then, I'm going to be honest. Cyborg is cool. Don't get me wrong. I only know him from Teen Titans. I can't think of I don't know any, like, Cyborg-specific villains.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I really can't think of any. I think he's just one of those heroes that I'm not going to call him... He's right above a sidekick, but he's right below a hero.
Yeah.
He's a side hero. So maybe that he's just one of those guys that you just throw like Hawkeye. We didn't get a Hawkeye movie. They just threw him in there.
He's getting a TV show though.
Really?
Yeah.
He's just okay. So this is gonna run into another situation like with Arrow. It's a dude with a bow.
And which I don't know if you remember, but in Avengers Age of Ultron, he actually says that to Scarlet Witch. He was like, "We're fighting robots, and all I got is a bow and arrow."
I mean, electrical arrows.
Yeah, you got different kinds of arrows.
Right. So, at the end of the day, DC tried to rush it, but along with the rushing, they got an issue with budget and time.
Yeah.
Whereas, on the opposite end of the spectrum, Marvel has the luxury of time and money. Because, Disney, there's going to be a day that there's going to be 2 people left in this world.
Apple and Disney.
No.
Oh.
Jeff Bezos
and Disney.
I
agree. Yeah,
like half the world is going to be owned by one of those 2 companies.
Well, I would say Disney, the company Apple, and Jeff Bezos.
Yeah, they're going to rule the world one day.
Yeah.
So
shout out Jeff Bezos.
Shout out Jeff Bezos. Maybe Jeff Bezos needs to buy DC.
Fuck it, why not? He looks like Lex Luthor. Did you show the video? I show you the video of him laughing with the robot arms.
Yeah,
he's already practicing to become the villain.
He already looks like he could own some kind of cybernetic company. But at the end of the day, Marvel is truly the better cinematic universe. Thankfully, though, DC is leading in animation.
Oh yeah,
and video games.
Oh, for sure.
However, while those things make you some money, the movie industry is much more profitable when done right.
Yeah.
When done right. So at least DC has something. And now, then again, in the gaming industry, they're very much relying on the Batman universe.
Yeah.
Then again, we could sit in here and argue for a whole hour about who's more popular, Batman or Superman.
Statistics and sales say Batman are.
Yeah. Yeah. It depends on who you ask, really. But right now, Marvel is leading. DC has a chance, and especially like we talked about earlier, the Batman 2021. Maybe they need to stick to just standalone movies, cameos here and there.
Yeah.
Maybe when I say team up, it's just one person and another person.
Hey, Superman, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You want to come over to Gotham right quick? Sure.
Yeah, like a small team up. We're not, and maybe like one day, like at the start of the movie, let's just say you're making a Superman movie,
All right.
and Superman, he's at the Justice League's headquarters, which is that space station in space. What is it called? Do you know?
Mine just went blank.
I can't remember what it's called. It's not as it's I
Hall of Justice or something like that.
yeah, Hall of Justice. He's sitting there, and that's the start of the movie. And then after the movie, he goes back to his Metropolis.
Who pays the rent for that thing? You think Bruce Wayne pays the rent for that?
I don't think they got rent.
How the fuck do they not have rent?
How do you rent space?
Well, they also have one on like Planet Earth too. That's what Hall of Justice is. It's on
Oh
Planet
yeah,
Earth.
it's on Earth. Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't think they got rent. I think they do enough service. Well, then again, they kind of blow up cities every now.
I want to say they fucking like when they fight like Doomsday or like Darkseid, they're blowing shit up. They're blowing buildings up.
You're right. But at the end of the day, Marvel's leading. DC, they're holding on, but they're not far. But Marvel needs to step up their game. Or not Marvel. DC definitely needs to step up the game. Because I grew up on those. I love Batman to death. Favorite superhero. Not of all time. Because, I love me some Deathstroke. But you know what? Speaking of Batman, we got a man who, he made 3 Batman movies. And they ended up being very good. Well, the third, what was it? One of them wasn't.
There's a third one. People usually consider the third one like the weakest one.
Third one was it was okay. It was decent. Christopher Nolan.
Yeah, that guy.
I can't think of a movie that he has made that I don't like.
I agree.
Like, he goes into this category of realistic sci-fi. And what I mean by that is these things that, like, so in some of his movies, like Tenet, time travel, and Interstellar, space travel, Batman
travel.
He's able to make it in a way that it seems realistic. Something that if in the real world today, I could definitely see.
All right, Chef Lebowski, I have a question.
Okay.
Do you remember the potential movie I told you about?
Which one?
Tenet, Inception, and Batman all together?
Yes, your theory on how all 3 could come together and how I was like, you know what? That doesn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah, it does. It totally does.
Go ahead and explain
all
to
right,
the audience.
So here's my potential dream movie. All right, so you have Batman doing Batman shit, all right? He's out here fighting crime.
Right.
And then he notices, if you've seen Tenet, spoiler alert, I think we should put that out there.
Yeah.
Shit's going fucking up. Shit is just weird.
Buildings are exploding on the bottom, on the top, and then
they go back together.
The explosions go away, and then just the top explodes. Some bullshit's going on.
So he notices that.
Yeah.
And then he noticed, the dude's name is John Washington, the character, the actor. I forgot the dude's actual name.
In Tenet?
Yeah. That's that.
Wait, it's George Washington?
No, John Washington.
John
Washington.
John.
That's the actor's name.
Okay.
I don't know his character's name.
Okay.
But he sees him and he's like, hey, what's going on? And he tells him what's going on. And then Batman uses detective skills to figure out what is going on. But before he can, figure it out fully, he wakes up from the dream.
Oh, goodness.
And this is when we get to
this is when I started to tune out of this idea because I thought to myself, what are we
Yeah, he wakes up from the dream and he realizes he's been dreaming the entire time.
Oh my god.
And then we get the Inception aspect of it. But that's more towards the end, though.
Right.
I'm telling you, that's a good movie, Will.
It seems like a lot's going on.
I think it's a fine movie. Chef
theory-
Lebowski, I think you'll watch it. We call it like the Darkception or something.
I will watch it.
The Dark Tenet.
Don't get me wrong.
Tenet Rises.
I love me some Christopher Nolan. I'd watch it. I don't know how good I'm gonna feel after watching it. I might want those like what? Tenet was almost 3 hours.
Oh, that's a long movie.
And Interstellar was 3 hours.
Oh yeah,
give or take. I'll definitely want those 3 hours back. But you know what? I'd watch it. But anyway, because I recently watched Interstellar, and that's kind of confirmed
for the first time.
Yeah.
What have you been doing?
Not watching Interstellar.
I see that.
I really, after watching that movie, because we still don't know what a wormhole actually will do. We don't know anything about a black hole.
No, I mean, scientifically we do. Well, it depends.
I'm not saying like what I mean is by what we don't know is what we don't know what happens when you go in one.
Yeah.
Like, because I mean, how many people are going to raise their hands like, yeah, I'll go in a black hole?
I don't know. I wouldn't mind.
I mean, maybe Stephen Hawking, God rest his soul, but I think he was the only man on this earth who thought to himself, you know what, I'd do it. Now, again, we don't know. Now, I think the theories of what could happen are possibly true.
Yeah.
But after seeing that movie, that's what's reinforced my idea of realistic sci-fi, because the space travel the craft they used seems real. The fact that the ship is connected to a space station that spins to help with gravity.
Yeah.
Instead of having a switch that turns gravity on and off, which, by the way, unless you're Star Wars, that's just really unrealistic in my opinion. But the cryogenic part of it, where they go in that little water pod, it's like, well, they get put in a bag.
Yeah, so you get this bag, you zip it up, and then you just go into there.
Like, I remember when I watched that, I got really uncomfortable. I was like, you know what?
I feel like I was suffocated there. I don't know why.
I remember I was watching it with my friends, and I said, you know what? Even though it's going to take you technically 20 years to get to Jupiter, I take it.
Yeah.
I don't want to go in that bag. Something about that.
You just stay up the entire time?
I would not be comfortable going in that bag. If they told me, like, yeah, do you want to age 20 years? Be like, no, not really. All right, get in the bag. I'd be like, nope, 20 years sounds good. But going back to it, his movies are realistic sci-fi.
Yeah.
So, Interstellar, realistic. Inception, he's able to explain how to get into dreams happen. And, I mean, I don't know a million things about dreams. Don't get me wrong. However, I feel like his explanation, it makes sense. It's clear. Now, Tenet's a whole nother thing, because the theories are fine. They never really explain how the machine works.
I think that's kind of on purpose. I would have think that's probably on purpose.
Maybe left up to, like, interpretation.
Yeah, like how Inception, how it ended, when his spinner top is still spinning.
Right.
So I think it's kind of up to the viewer to whether I wouldn't say necessarily decide how it works, but I think it's more you try to figure that part out.
Right.
So.
Okay. And then, like, with the Batman movies, it's a realist, like how I'm hoping with the 2021 Batman, it's a realistic Batman. If we take out the Tumbler, if we take out the Batwing, it's a relatively realistic Batman. Especially like when they showed the that vision that in the second movie, it's not subsonic. The shit that submarines use.
The sonar.
Yeah. That sonar vision is relatively realistic if you put enough R&D time. I'm sure that could be something that made.
I only love that part of the movie because we get the comic book white eyes. Yes,
I love the white eyes. There was even a game that recently came out that was made by Telltale where it gives them the white eyes. I'm like, I love it. But if we take out the Prestige, which isn't really sci-fi, it's more about magicians. Except for the part where Tesla makes a teleportation device, but really what it makes is it teleports you, but it makes a clone of yourself.
See, I haven't seen the movie, so I'm like I said, I've seen bits and pieces of it, so I'm just like, whoa.
We won't talk more about the Prestige, which, by the way, you gotta watch it. It has Christian Bale.
Oh, Christian Bale's in that one?
Yeah, he's in it. I absolutely love him in that movie. But another thing we were talking about when it comes to Christopher Nolan movies, he's very like Quentin Tarantino. He's very consistent
with the actors.
Like, so the guy who plays Alfred, and his Batman movies. Let me look it up real quick. But
I know he's knighted. I think his name's like Sir.
Yeah. Oh, he is?
I think he is.
Oh, look at that.
I think
he's always in those movies, like no matter what. So here, hold on. So we're on the Christopher Nolan. What's this called? The fandom website. Ooh. Okay. Not Michael Caine.
Yeah,
Michael Caine is in. I think he's in every single Christopher Nolan film, to my knowledge.
He was in Tenet.
I mean, and sure, he was only there for like a couple minutes.
Yeah,
he was still in it. He's in Inception as the professor.
Yep.
He's in Prestige as some dude's grandfather or something like that. He's in Batman as Alfred. He's in Interstellar as the main professor.
Who actually happened to be the villain. Like, that movie had a villain.
Well, no. It was, in my opinion, it was
Dr. Man.
Yeah, who was the guy who gets rescued?
Yeah, I think it was Dr. Man. Matt Damon.
Matt Damon,
yeah.
which is funny because this time he doesn't want to. He wants to get rescued, but he kills rescuers, which is really.
Matt Damon just has a bad thing with space at this point.
Think about him Saving Private Ryan. If the people who came, the platoon that came to rescue them, he tried to kill him.
Fuck you! I don't want you here.
Yeah, I'd be like, fuck you. You stay there. The Germans will take you. They'll kill you. Don't care. But going back to it, Christopher Nolan makes this realistic sci-fi that I really like, because when it comes to sci-fi, sure, the visuals are cool.
Yeah.
Like Star Wars is cool. It looks good. Sounds good. What I'm more interested in is, can I see this happening
in real life?
Yeah, within the next 20 years. With Star Wars, I can't. I mean, okay, it's a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. Don't get me wrong.
Which always bothers me. Like, that fucking bothers me.
Yeah,
like, it's so far back, but the technology is so fucking far advanced.
It's another universe that we don't know about. They got lasers and shit. Like, I can't see the idea of a hyperdrive being a thing within the next 20, 30 years. But in Interstellar, the cryostasis,
yeah,
I could
see that possibly being a thing.
Yeah, that's.
But here's the thing. I think when I see real life, I think as I can see it being a thing now. Not is the technology here, but can it be a thing? Like, if I went up to it, if I went to a spaceship right now and I seen the cryostasis that they have, I'd be like, that's believable. I can see that. I can see somebody getting in there, going to sleep while they do a long journey.
Right.
Same thing with Batman. I can see, a Bruce Wayne, a Christian Bale suiting up at night into a bat suit, going out to fight crime.
Yeah.
Now, the Tumbler, not so much.
It's a fucking tank.
Yeah. The Batwing, fuck no.
No,
but I can see him, jumping off buildings, gliding, with the cape and everything.
Right.
And of course, Tenet, not so much because the time travel. So I think that movie,
it's not like a portal that you walk through. It's more of like a.
I go through this machine and I go to the other side, and now
they didn't really explain the machine though.
Yeah.
Which I feel like we need to watch the movie again to really.
I think dude. I feel like we should watch it backwards. Like I was telling you about that. Like, will it?
Because it's like kind of like that movie Memento, where there's a version of that movie that, because the movie starts from the end
and then
it goes back to the beginning.
Yeah.
So maybe that's how. Maybe they'll put out a version that's and something we'd also have to watch. We have to watch the background.
Yeah, because you can apparently there's a scene. Spoiler alert. Also, just throw that out there. But there's a scene in the airport. Remember?
Yeah.
Where they're pushing the girl or whatever. So maybe you can see that happening as well.
Okay. So maybe, yeah, you see like subtle things. But all in all, because you know what, we're like, an hour, 30 minutes, not 30 minutes, 3 minutes past. All in all, Christopher Nolan, he makes some really good movies. I don't think he gets enough credit as, say, like a Quentin Tarantino, which I feel like every movie. I still need to see Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Oh yeah, it's not bad.
Relatively every movie he's put out, everyone has something great to say about.
Yeah,
it. Or good at the very least.
Because his movies are really dialogue heavy.
It's not about the location. I mean, the locations are very detailed, but it's not like we're jumping here, there.
Exactly.
It's very much like The Hateful Eight. It's just one room.
Yeah.
The outside. It's more about the relationship between characters
and how they interact.
And whereas Christopher Nolan's movies are more of
buildings blowing up and coming back together.
But he's like a better Michael Bay.
Yeah.
In the sense that, yeah, we're going to give you the special effects, but we're going to make it realistic. Something that, I mean, like, obviously the Joker is not. I'd like to hope that the Joker wouldn't be a real person that would come out, some fucker in a clown.
No, in 2020, I wouldn't be surprised if there's an actual Joker.
Okay, yeah, you're right. But like, his movies are realistic sci-fi, whereas Quentin Tarantino is more of a sorry, I'm blanking out. Dialogue heavy. Stephen King is more horror.
Yeah.
I won't call it realistic horror. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna throw that in there. Realistic horror that's also like when you leave the theater, you go home, it's dark out, you're like,
Is there a clown outside?
is there yeah, is there some fucker hanging out in my sewer?
Yeah.
Am I going to go into my basement and I'm gonna find a red balloon?
Oh God.
That would be some shit. But like, all in all, I love me a Christopher Nolan movie. I'm very excited to see this Batman 2021. I'm very interested to see what happens with Wonder Woman 1984 and the rest of the DC universe, because I don't know what's coming after that.
No.
What Marvel has the next year planned out.
Yeah.
I think they even showed off which is interesting because DC doesn't do that. So that's the end of the Batch 3, Podcast 3. I am Chef Lebowski.
I'm Chef Song.
We bid you a good night.